What is going on, everybody? My name is Nico and welcome back to another video. The Nintendo Switch Pro is something I've talked about numerous times here on the channel, and it just seems more and more likely that we are getting this thing a lot sooner than later. There's so much stuff that's coming up, and some people are even speculating that they're planning on announcing this thing before E3. So a lot of crazy stuff happening. We're going to get into all that here in a second, but if this is your first time here on the channel, make sure you are subscribed for more videos like this in the future. Let's get into it. So there's tons of stuff involved with this particular leak or rumor that is going on, including a Bloomberg report. It's all craziness because this has been rumored for so long. You know, there was the OLED screen stuff that was coming up. There was the idea that Pokemon Legends Arceus would show up as a launch title for this, and it just, all of the stars are aligning, and it does seem that we are going to get this very, very soon, late this year, probably a holiday-ish release. So I'm going to bring us over to this Bloomberg article because this is where things are getting interesting. The title reads, Nintendo plans upgraded Switch replacement as soon as September. This is really big stuff. Nintendo company plans to begin assembly of its new Switch as soon as July and release their upgraded replacement for its 4-year-old game console in September or October, people familiar with the matter said. The new console, likely to be priced higher than the $300 original, may be announced ahead of the E3 conference starting June 12th. The reason for this is so that they could announce it, get it out of the way, and they could show everything that would be coming to the Nintendo Switch at the up-res, you know, Nintendo Switch Pro level. They could show off all the games because we already know the console's coming in. This makes a whole lot of sense, and that would be a very, very exciting E3 conference. So this, like I said, June 12th, to allow publishers to showcase their full range of games, like I was saying at the global event. The people said, asking not to be named because the plans are not yet public. It will be sold alongside the $199 Switch Lite with the standard Switch phased out over time. I am curious as to that right there. I don't know why they would try to phase out the normal Switch. I feel like that's a very good market right there. You've got the standard one. It's kind of like the PS4 Pro and the PS4. You can have the normal PS4 and then get the PS4 Pro if you want the upgraded features and things like that. So I'm curious to see if the phased out aspect is actually going to be a real thing. It did seem to happen that way with the 3DS over time though. So it is possible that this is going to be the case. Assemblers will start shipping the new model, whose commercial name is known only to a handful of people within the Kyoto-based company, as early as July, and production is planned to ramp up to a peak in the October-December quarter. This despite widespread semiconductor shortages that have affected the supply of everything from automobiles to TVs, headphones, and game consoles, including the Switch itself. A Nintendo spokesman declined to comment. Moving on, Nintendo has a compete for gamers' attention with new console generation introduced by rivals Sony Corp and Microsoft Corp in November. Their PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X machines beef up the visual fidelity, speed, and performance of their predecessors, and both have been extremely limited supply since launch. The Switch maker response will be to upgrade its flagship console with a 7-inch Samsung display OLED, which I've talked about in previous videos. This was pretty much confirmed that we were getting OLED screens on a new Switch model, display, and faster NVIDIA Corp graphics silicon, making it capable of 4K output when docked to a TV, which is something I've also talked about in the past. Pricier components and rising labor costs in China are likely to push the new Switch price up from $299 that the console has been set at since its launch in May 2017, though the final retail price is not yet known. Suppliers expect their per unit revenue from business with Nintendo to increase. Nintendo shares rose for 6 straight days ahead of Thursday, bringing it closer to all-time highs on an apparent expectations of an imminent announcement of the new hardware. Suppliers are confident that they can fulfill Nintendo's orders despite the ongoing chip shortages. Its production lines are better prepared for the potential component shakeup, and parts that Nintendo is using are subject to less competition than those of its rival, more powerful consoles. Still, the company's ability to meet consumer demand won't be guaranteed, as a dearth of display drivers, ICs, and Bluetooth chips have led to production of the incumbent Switch stopping and starting several times. The people said. Nintendo President Shintaro Furukawa Ishikawa, I hope I said that right, said at its earnings press conference earlier this month that the demand for the Switch remains high and the company wasn't able to produce as many units as it wanted. The Switch is booming right now, and this whole phase out the original Switch doesn't make a lot of sense because, like I said, it's a huge market right now and people want Switch, so it seems kind of silly to be phasing out. But that is not where all the crazy news ends. So like I said, we talked about the OLED screen, the larger screen size, you know, the NVIDIA graphics, being able to make the Switch do 4K while docked. All of this I've talked about before, but there was a new thing that kind of just sends this home on top of this E3 idea that, you know, announce this thing right before E3. You know, you really get a lot of the mind share that way, and then you go in and you're like, okay, Breath of the Wild 2, you get this game, Metroid Prime 4, you know, everything that they could possibly be putting on the Switch Pro, be like, here's all of that at E3, and just blow the crowd away. But that is not where the craziness ends. Like I said, there was another issue that was brought up in regards to the new Nintendo Switch Pro, and that is that I believe it was on Amazon Mexico, there was a listing for a new Nintendo Switch Pro. This was taken down very, very quickly, but I did manage to find pictures of this on Twitter and see reports of this on Twitter and things like that. And this, again, is another thing. It's like, they're going to announce this. It's going to be available for pre-order. It just went up super early on accident, and now we know that this is coming. So everything, like I said earlier, the stars are aligning here. Everything's lining up for this to be announced very soon, and then we get this by holiday. And I am curious to see if they'll actually be able to meet demands for this particular thing, because, for example, the Xboxes and the PlayStations aren't even on the shelves yet. We have none on shelves, and I'm surprised that Nintendo is going to be ballsy enough to actually put out a new console with this chip shortage and all those sort of things lined up. It's kind of crazy to me that they're actually planning to do this, but I hope that this will be a lesson learned for Nintendo. They take what Xbox and PlayStation did wrong and then go ahead and capitalize on that and have units on the shelves, have this available, so that way, you know, people can actually get their hands on the system. Unlike the PlayStation 5, which I still don't have over here, or, you know, even know where to get one. So hopefully all of these things work out. Nintendo has a game plan here, and we do get this year, and we're able to actually get our hands on the system. But all of that is up in the air. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But that is going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you found it entertaining and helpful. If you did, leave a like and smash that subscribe button for more videos like this in the future. Be sure to check out Discord, the people over there playing games all the time. Check me out over on Twitch, TikTok, and all my other social medias if you're interested in keeping up with me, this channel, the stream, or anything like that. Like I said, that's it for this video, and I hope to see you all in the next one.